Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Yoga Den. Thank you for joining me for this YIN class this morning. We will be focusing on our hips today. So we begin class by sitting up nice and tall. Everything is timed, and so one of the beautiful things about YIN is that you know where you're going. So each posture is like its own individual class. So what we will do is we'll hold a posture for about 3 to 5 minutes, and we'll have some kind of rebound or some kind of settling in between the postures, and then we will end our class with a traditional shavasana, just like we do in many of your other hatha classes. So thank you so much for being here with me today. I'd like to start off class with some poetry. So this morning I've chosen a Mary Oliver poem, The Summer Day. Who made the world? Who made the swan and the black bear? Who made the grasshopper? This grasshopper, I mean, the one who has flung herself out of the grass, the one who is eating sugar out of my hand, who is moving her jaws back and forth instead of up and down, who is gazing around her with her enormous and complicated eyes. Now she lifts her pale forearms and thoroughly washes her face. Now she snaps her wings open and floats away. I don't know exactly what a prayer is. I do know how to pay attention, how to fall down into the grass, how to kneel down in the grass, how to be idle and blessed, how to stroll through the fields, which is what I have been doing all day. Tell me, what else should I have done? Doesn't everything die at last and too soon? Tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life? Alright, everybody. For this first minute, let's just turn the palms facing down. Let's shut down one of the senses, enlivening and awakening the other four. And so one of the things I like to do is feeling the fabric of the leggings that you're wearing, or the texture of the mat, to bring yourself into that somato awareness, to bring yourself into the present moment. And so let's just shut our eyes now. Let's sit nice and tall. Let's roll the shoulders up, back and down, away from the ears. Palms can be facing down for more grounding. And the eyes become closed. And we just settle in. Feeling our breath rising up through the belly and into the heart center, not trying to control or change, just try to observe the in-breath and observe the out-breath. Observe the in-breath. And just feel yourself calming down with each exhalation. Exhale, let it go. Let's begin with a little movement. Chin towards our chest. Deep exhalation with a sigh, softening in the shoulders. Inhale, our gaze looks up. Exhale, gaze comes down. Let's take a big breath in as we reach our palms out to the side, palms facing up, gathering up all that good fresh air, all the way through the heart center and down through our midline. I'll take you through a series of postures today. We'll hold them from 3 to 5 minutes in our right rebound, where we allow for all of that good, wonderful stillness and that good, wonderful, deep fascia work for that to settle in. We often rebound for 1 minute, either lying still in shavasana, or I'll be guiding you through each of the postures. So today we start in butterfly. And so if you need to have props for tight hips, you can feel free to roll a blanket behind you or sit on a bolster, whatever it is that's needed from you today. Just go ahead and bring the hands to either ankles. We're going to sit up nice and tall for that first minute. We'll hold this posture for 3 minutes today. And so as we settle in, you hinging at the hips, knees are open up to the side, elbows come in to the crooks of the knees here. Hands can be bound around the feet, or they can even come into a more traditional bind around the toes. Siddhasana to butterfly, allowing the chin and the chest to hang heavy here. Just let gravity do its work. settling into the posture, allowing for gravity to do its work. It is pretty straightforward. Simple is not exactly the word I would use, but straightforward is something I would refer to it as. And so as we allow gravity to take hold, we just let the head hang heavy. We find some stillness. So taking yourself to your soft edge, finding stillness in the posture and the length of time that we hold the posture. Magic truly happens in that second and third minute. 1 minute. Starting to sit up nice and tall. Let's go ahead and bring those knees together like bookends. And we're going to spend 1 minute rebounding with our forehead to the knees. You wrap the hands around the shins. And you just allow for the head to gently relax here. Finding your breath, enjoying the sensation of hearing the breath in the lap. Inhale fully, exhale, let it go. Inhale fully, exhale, let it go. Sitting up nice and tall, we're going to shift our weight to come down into Shavasana here. And just finding stillness on our mat. Our next posture is going to be a figure 4. So we lift the left toes up to the sky, crossing the left ankle over the right knee. And this might be all you need to start off for the first minute. We'll hold this posture for 3 minutes as well. And so in minute 1, you kind of settle in, finding your space, finding your grounding, palms facing down. If you'd like to thread the needle, you draw the hands through the thigh and draw the thigh a little bit closer to the heart center for level 2. And if you're ready in that last second to third minute, you can draw the shin even closer to the right glute. All right, folks, let's settle in here. Finding your breath, a diaphragmatic breath in the first minute. Taking yourself to your soft edge and finding your stillness here. Find a little bit more of our edge. Can we draw the knee a little bit closer in? You can even consider making this a separate bind so you can feel a deeper stretch in that left hip flexor as well. Right now we're really focusing on drawing the knees into the chest, compression in our organs, which aids in the digestive process. This outer line, our outer meridian. We feel a deep stretch here. we're working on activating our gallbladder, activating the bladder, and finding stillness at our soft edge. You never want to feel a pain in any posture in YIN, but you do want to feel the deep sensation. Breathing into the chest and the belly, try to relax and release. Drawing the thigh even closer in, or the shin closer in. A few more seconds on the side. Releasing the foot down to the mat. Left leg comes down to the mat. Arms open up into a T. Bring the soles of the feet to the outer edges of the mat. And find your windshield wipers. You can internally rotate the left knee towards the right ankle. Internally rotate the right knee towards the left ankle. On your next time over to the right, allow both knees to really open up to the side. Allow the external rotation of the right leg. Inhale through the center, allowing for the external rotation of the left leg. Whenever we practice yoga outside, we're really in touch with all of the elements. You can hear the planes flying. We live really close to the airports. We also have a lot of helicopters in the summer. Just go ahead and bring the left knee in, forehead to the left knee. And set the left knee down, right knee in, forehead to the right knee. Releasing that. Alright, right side, lifting those left toes all the way up to the sky. Crossing the right ankle over the midline of the body. And maybe this is all you need for the first minute. Maybe this is enough sensation for you. But if you'd like to find a deeper sensation, you can join me by taking both palms in between the thigh, drawing the left thigh closer to the heart center. And this is level 2. So you should feel a deep stretch, a deep sensation in the right outer hip, and a deep sensation in the core here. Try to keep the shin neutral. Maybe for just this first minute, just observing the breath, finding the breath. Inhale fully, exhale, go. One side we might find is tighter than the other, or looser than the other, more available than the other. The right hip for me is a source of tension. So breathing some kindness, some compassion into those tight hips. And if your mind starts to wander in YIN, which it does, because we hold posture for quite a while, let's go ahead and bring the hand around the shin if you're ready for that next step. Drawing that left heel towards the right, close to the glute. And finding the soft edge for this last minute or so. Inhale into the center, exhale, go. And if you're finding that the shoulders are too activated here, you can release that and bring the hands back to the back of the thigh of the left along the hamstrings. And then gently draw the thigh in a little bit closer. Let's breathe in a few more seconds. Releasing the tension in the shoulders. As we release the palms, we release the left leg. Both palms come onto the side. Right knee uncrosses. Walk those toes and feet out to the outer edges of the mat. Go ahead and find that windshield wiper. I'll just do this for about 30 seconds. You know, I'm not looking at my watch, so I'm just hoping that time is what I Shavasana for 1 full minute here. Just bring the feet out long, the left foot to the outer edge of the left of the mat, the right foot to the outer edge of the right of the mat. Arms open up to a T in a proper yin Shavasana, where you really take up as much space as you possibly can. So if we were looking at you from the sky, you would look like a big circle. I could draw a circle around the fingertips to the toes in your own perfect geometry. All right, 1 minute. Let's lie here in Shavasana and let all the magic happen. Try to soften the jaw, try to soften the shoulders here, try to really relax the backside body. Allow for your body to melt into the mat. Theme of the hips. Let's take some more breaths here. And we start to walk the heels in towards the glutes. Hands come down by the sides. We'll find a gentle bridge pose. Lifting the hips. And try to keep the knees from splaying out. Just lifting the hips ever so slightly. Fill up with air, and then as we exhale, one spine at a time, thoracic all the way down to the sacrum, we relax and we reset. If you have a ball or a block, you might want to pause the video, but if you have a ball or a block, here's what we're going to do, a 3-minute spinal reset. We're just going to do this around the back pocket area, so the sacrum area, the lower part of the spine. So we lift the hips again, and we bring a ball behind us or the block if you want something a little bit more secure, more safe. I like to use the ball, it's just a little bit more forgiving. You can just go ahead and let your cellulose back pocket, the ball right into the back pockets. And so you don't want it too high up, you don't want it too low. You can have it right here, right in those back pockets. And go ahead and set your weight down on the ball or a block, or you can roll a blanket. We'll hold this posture for 2 minutes. The knees can stay bent. For this first minute, we just settle in. Notice what you notice. Inhale fully. Exhale, release. Inhale fully. Exhale, release. The more the ball is inflated, of course, the higher the arch in the back. If you'd like to straighten one leg at a time, just to feel that sensation of the hip flexor opening up on the right side here. You can do one leg at a time, you can do both. Just begin to slide the left toes all the way out. And just settle in for that last minute. Maybe the arms even reach up overhead. And just surrendering into this posture. Not too much of a soft edge in the spinal release here. part of the class where you really start to internally focus your attention on your body. Some attention on your legs. Maybe of knees, postures, the deeper we get into fascia, the deeper we get into deep tissues of the body. Let's begin to walk those feet up alongside, removing the block or the bolster here, or the ball. Hands come down by our side. We gently lift our hips. We remove the block, and then we again find stillness. So try not to move at all. Just try to find a gentle stillness with the palms by our side. Just noticing what you notice. Stay grounded, stay rooted. Maybe the eyes stay closed or shut down. I know we started with the butterfly. We're going to go into a supine butterfly with some pelvic tilts here. So allow the knees to open up wide. The soles of the feet come together. The hands can come to the hips if you'd like to. Just allowing for the shoulders to relax here. Begin to press the soles of the feet together, engaging the glutes, engaging the core, the inner thighs. Draw the navel in and back and down as you tilt the pelvis towards the heart center. Releasing the tension here. You might find a gentle opening of the hips, and maybe the pelvis tilts forward. Now let's intentionally tilt the pelvis forward like we're giving someone a sip of our tea. Thinking about the pelvic girdle as a cup. Here's the cup. We tilt the sipping of the tea towards the heart center. Back into neutral, the neutral cup. Tilt the cup away like you're giving someone else a sip of your tea. Back into the center. Hands come to the hips. Releasing the tension in the hips, releasing the tension in the glutes. Allowing for the legs to open, the knees to open up, the thighs to open up a little bit wider. One last time, let's squeeze the soles of the feet together. Engage the core, engage the navel area, engage the glutes. Breath draws up into the center, all the way up to the crown of the head. Belly expands. Exhale, release, soften the thighs. Great job, everybody. Take those hands on the outer thighs and gently draw the knees together like bookends. Draw the knees into the chest, forehead to our knees. Right knee stays in, left leg out long, let it hover. Switching legs in, left knee in, right leg out long, let it hover. Both knees come in, forehead to the knees. Release on our head. Let's draw small circles in the center, flexing our feet. Reverse our circles. Beginning off our back and turning over to the opposite side. So go ahead and let the knees come over to the left. Set one hand on your side and gently push yourself up into an easy seat. Wonderful. Flipping over onto the back. We're going to come in for our happy baby stretch. So let's spread those fingertips nice and wide here. The shins are parallel to the earth. The quadriceps are stacked. The shoulders are stacked. The eyelids of the elbows are facing forward. Let's find one more powerhouse. Opening up our center, tailbone lifts. Exhale, rounding our back, chin comes towards our chest. And let's begin to come down onto the elbows here. We're going to have a space between the thighs, and see if you need to walk the thighs back just a little bit more. Let's open up these shoulders here, and then we'll get into the hips. The next posture will be our dragon posture. So walking the hands to the front of the mat as you bring your weight towards our heels. And maybe the forehead comes down to the mat. Maybe you even extend it so the chin touches down upon the mat. Either way, let's surrender in for this next minute. Finding your breath, finding stillness. The further the shoulders are away from the core, the deeper the stretching. The armpit area and the deltoids on top of the arms. Find your perfect edge. Find stillness. Releasing the back. Releasing tension in our shoulders. Remembering to breathe deep breath in as you feel the sensation, not pain. You can also use a ball here, or you can roll up a towel. All right, let's settle in for this last minute and a half. Big breath in, exhale, let it go. You want to find stillness, but you can also adjust so that you can take yourself to the soft edge. I find this posture one of the more challenging postures. Happy puppy pose or melting heart. Oftentimes by the end of 3 minutes, my shoulders feel so tight I can barely move them. 30 more seconds, we can do it. Breath. And exhale, let it go. Begin to walk those shoulders back in towards the heart center. And we come down into a restorative child's pose. Knees together, palms alongside, feeling the fabric or the texture of the mat. As you bring the palms around and you make somewhat of a bind, if you'd like to, the hands can wrap around the shins, around the ankles I should say, forehead to the mat, and release. This is called child's pose or embryo pose. We're going to stay here for 1 minute to rebound. Noticing what you notice about your body. Knowing that this compression here through the rib cage really aids in our digestive process. The liver loves to be compressed and squeezed and wrung out. It really helps the process of detoxification. Anytime we compress our organs through twisting, through postures in yoga class, just noticing what you notice about the areas of the body. There's no expectation from me that the glutes touch down upon the heels. We seek progress in our yoga practice. Those palms. Let's come back up here into all fours. And our next posture that we'll be doing is dragon. We'll do dragon on the left and we'll do dragon on the right. And so from here, maybe you assist the leg forward. The foot will be angled out to the side. It'll be on the outside of the right hand. And you can start to walk the palms up until you find a sensation that is good. You want to try to keep this in a 90-90. You can come forward over the toes if your body allows for that sensation here. And both hands are on the inside. And so for this first minute, you can stay lifted up in lizard. Taking a deep breath in, finding that soft edge, finding the stillness here. Maybe the block or the ball comes to the knee edge here. You could bring it all the way up to the thigh if you'd like to. Remember, we want to find stillness, but it's not this expectation that you go into still and you don't move and you don't breathe. I want you to find your breath, I want you to find your movement, what feels good to you here. All right, maybe you start to come down onto your elbows. Another option is to roll the right thigh out so you're on the pinky edge of the foot. Just finding a deeper sensation here. Sometimes I find in dragon, after the second minute, the third minute, I want to just melt into the floor and just completely collapse onto the floor. So listening to your body, you're in your home, safe, maybe with no one around, so do whatever feels good to you, what feels natural to you today. Maybe you remove the props so that the body can come closer to the mat here. Another option as you really start to melt in is to let the upper body come down onto the floor and the hand comes around. Threads the needle through the right thigh. There is no expectation to do this posture. I'm just doing what feels good to my body here. Finding that soft edge, finding the stillness, finding the allowance in the body. When you're ready, coming out of lizard, however feels good to you. I'll show you some options. So if you're here in lizard, you start to walk the hands back to the center. You can lengthen through that leg if you'd like to. You can bring both of your knees back together. Maybe do a cat-cow. Rounding the back. We're ready to get to this other side. Let's come over to the other side. Bringing the left foot to the outer edge of the left hand. Both hands on the inside are still on the mat. The left foot comes to the outer edge of the mat or even off the mat, depending on how much of a hip opener is available to you today. And you start to walk the right thigh back, the right toes back. I like to call this a workshop because there's no expectation of you having your props and everything organized. You can stop as many times as you want to. I like to think of each posture as its own practice. So you take yourself through a whole cycle of yoga for each posture. So it's a lot different than a vinyasa class where you go through the entire process, start to finish. So as we come into our lizard pose, we're already in about 30 seconds or so. Let's go ahead and start to ease down onto the right elbow if that's available to you today. One side of your body might feel a little tighter than the other. It's pretty natural. How about just for today, breathe some kindness and compassion into that tight hip. That's a note to self as well. Stillness in this last 90 seconds here. What does your body want or need? What kind of stretch? Remember, you can roll the left foot out onto the pinky edge of the left to give a little bit more opening in the hip. You can also thread the needle of the left arm. If you have props and you're ready to let that hip come all the way down to the mat. Taking yourself to the soft edge, finding stillness. Time spent in the posture. There's a bladder meridian that comes along the back side of the body. This outer hip, you can It's another type of meridian. Thinking of your body as a globe from north to south. The north is the prime, through the center is our prime meridian. And then there's meridian lines or longitude lines, just like in a globe. All right, folks, how we doing? All right, start to walk those hands back. You can lengthen through the left toes, flexing the toes if you'd like to. Nice deep breath in, and then go ahead and bring that foot back. This time we come into a wide-legged child's pose for 1 minute. So opening those knees out to the side, bringing the toes into the center, right toe down first, left toes on the right toes. You bring your hips towards your heels. And it's okay if your heels and the hips do not touch down together. Bending the elbows here, making a pillow out of your hands. Just allow for the body and the breath to return to its natural state right here in the center. Lifting out of our child's pose, start to walk the hands into the thighs. Go ahead and bring the knees together. We're going to come in for a toe stretch here. Let's come ahead and sit back onto the heels, feeling the lengthening through the quadricep muscles, and feeling the flexion of the toes. Posture for the day before we go into Shavasana will be our Sphinx pose. So coming forward, walking the hands towards the front of the mat. The tailbone stays lifted here. You start to walk the knees behind, bringing the hips down towards the earth. Nice and slow all the way down. Rolling the shoulders back and down. Headless, we find Cobra. Exhale, bringing the elbows alongside of the rib cage. Draw the elbows right there in. Chin lifts for a moment, chin tucks. And if you feel pressure in the lower back, just feel yourself drawing the elbows in like you're slithering like a snake forward. So shifting the weight to the front, lifting through the core so you feel a stretch through the belly. Let the belly be soft here. Pressing those hips into the mat. So this is option one for the rest of the time that we are spending in Sphinx pose. Or you can start to come into seal pose. Lifting up a little bit higher. I like to bring my palms out to the side to feel a sensation that way. Really pressing the hips in. This is a much deeper sensation that you're going to feel in Sphinx. It's pretty active on the arms, so if that's just not the vibe you have today, go ahead and bring your attention back. Trying to find a non-slip surface would be ideal. I'm trying to release those hips, release the glutes here. Really try to let the lower body relax. It takes me a minute or so for my body to really relax on the backside. And you might find a shaking of the upper body. Keep those glutes relaxed. Feel the stretch through the front side body here. Sphinx pose, Sphinx posture. Hands come along either side. Tuck those elbows into the rib cage. Inhale, find cobra. Exhale, release. Wiggle the hips left to right. Walk those feet out to the outer edges of the mat, and then leading with the heels of the feet, flexing our toes. Bring the heels towards the glutes. Pointing our toes all the way back down. Bringing the feet about hip distance apart, elbows tucked into the ribcage. Let's rise up through our center and exhale towards our heels, lifting the elbows here. Let's do one downward dog, tucking our toes, lifting our hips. Maybe pedaling out our bikes here. Setting our knees down. Finding an easy seat and turning all the way over into Shavasana, where we'll spend the next 5 minutes in Shavasana. Feel free to stay here and join me for the next 5 minutes. Or if you'd like to stay in Shavasana for longer, you can turn the video off and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much for sharing in with me today. Let's do a full body scan as we lie here. Bringing our feet out to the outer edges of the mat. The palms can either be down by the side, or we can open up those palms like a snow angel and just take up so much space here. Fill the belly and the chest up with air. Exhale, release. Shavasana. From my heart to yours. Namaste.